Hi everyone. Today we're going to be unmounting the cam and taking it out so that we can do some maintenance on it. The only tool you'll need is your screwdriver with your driver bit in there so that we can detach these bolts. The first thing we want to check is that cam is off. So on the bottom side, what you can do is look underneath, and right here there's a light. If you see any lights there, the first thing we're going to want to do is unplug the solar panel. That eliminates one of the lights that could be on. If you still see a light on, we're going to want to press and hold the button for at least 5 seconds to turn cam off. Once you see no lights underneath, you're ready to proceed. The first step after that is to remove the 2 screws that hold cam onto the bracket. So we're going to take our screwdriver and unscrew both of them. You want to make sure to be careful to also get the washers that are sitting on the bolts there to make sure that those don't fall and you don't lose them. So I'll set this aside and then do the other one as well. Unscrewing all the way and making sure that I get both the screw and the washer. Next, all you need to do is push cam upwards. So lift it and it'll slide right off. And we have our cam ready to do maintenance. All right, so we've unmounted cam and now we're going to do some maintenance. The first step is to take off the solar panel so we can access the inside of cam. To take off our solar panel, first thing we want to do is lay it on top of the solar panel, but we want to protect cam and we want to protect your table. So what we're going to do is put down some paper towels so that the solar panel has something soft to sit on. Lay this a little bit. All right, so we're going to flip it so that the solar panel is on the table, really on those paper towels as well, and the bottom of cam is facing us. This is what we're going to start as. Once again, we want to make sure that cam is off, so no lights are on, and the solar panel is unplugged on the side. We'll then come to the back side here, and we see our 3 sets of screws that are on each side, holding cam to the solar panel. The first one we want to undo is this top, or the one that's at the top of this triangle. So we'll unscrew that all the way, and remove that, set that aside in a safe spot, or we're not going to lose it. And then we're going to come over to the other side. I'm just going to turn it since we're doing this on camera, and unscrew the other side as well. We'll remove that screw. The other 2 that we want to do are these down here. So these ones we don't want to unscrew all the way, just one full turn to loosen them on either side. It's again, just one full turn so they're no longer tight. So the next thing we want to do is flip this outwards so it is also laying on the table. And then if we're going to fully remove the solar panel, we can remove these 2 screws as well, all the way at this point. But in this case, we're just going to keep it on. All right, so we've taken the solar panel off so we can access the front of cam to do maintenance. We're inside, so they can't get in cam and that it's safe. The first thing we want to do is undo these 2 latches on the side. To do that, we just pull backwards on them, and they'll come off. Drop them off. Same thing over here. Pull it up and off. And now we want to open it. The issue is that sometimes the seal on this lid gets a little stuck, so it can be hard to open by your hand. This one's easy, but if you're ever experiencing that issue, it can help to take a flathead screwdriver and just force it in right along here and turn sideways just to break loose that seal and open it up. Now we're on the inside of cam and we can do our maintenance. All right, so we have to replace your Plantower sensor. We've already opened the box and turned off cam, made sure it was off and disconnected. We've come inside to a safe location where we're not going to get anything inside of it, and we're going to switch out the Plantower. That's our low cost sensor. First thing we're going to want to do is unplug the Plantower. That's going to be this black cable with a bunch of wires coming out of it. All you have to do is pull it and it'll come out. There's nothing actually holding it in, so it should just come right out. Next, we also want to move aside the battery. So to do that, we remove these pieces of foam and set them aside. And then we can push our battery over, maybe loosen this a little bit here, and then push this battery over so that this side of the box is clear and we can get to the Plantower easily. Now, all we need to do is pull back this little black lever. And if we push on it, we can then pull out with our fingers. Probably going to cover things up here. But we're going to pull out on that lever and pull up on the Plantower to pull it out. And that's our old Plantower that we're replacing. Because your Plantower likely had a bug inside of it, and we want to avoid that in the future, we're going to now place a mesh over it to keep bugs out. So that mesh is just going to go right in the bottom of where that Plantower was, right in here. It may be hard to see, but all you're going to do is slide it into this slot, and you can actually go to the front side as well and use your finger on this side and a finger on this side, this back side, so on each side to kind of position it. All we want to make sure we're doing is covering up this hole with the mesh and this hole with the mesh. So you should be able to see it through the holes. And I can actually pull out a light to show a little bit better that the mesh is there. So you can see that mesh is in place and covering those holes now. All right, so now that that's in, it should be held in place by the new Plantower. So this is our new Plantower that we're going to place it with that is working properly. We want to make sure that this larger circle is going towards the back of the box. All we're going to do is in the reverse, slide that into place. And then you might want to take your finger on this side and just push it back so that it falls into place into the slot. This can be kind of tricky. I've done it a lot, so I make it look easy, but it can be very tricky to do this. Once we're in this rectangular slot, we can just push on the top until we hear it click into place and the the Plantower has been replaced. We can come back to the front and just make sure that the mesh is covering all of the holes to keep any bugs out that could damage the sensor. All right, so it looks like we're good there. We're going to take that black cable from this new Plantower sensor and plug it in to the board again. There's two sides to this cable. So one has exposed metal on it and the other has nothing. The side with nothing is going to go towards the bottom of the sampler. So we're going to insert like this into this white connector here so that you can still see the exposed metal on the top of the cable. And that's how you know it's in the right way. And now we're just going to do everything in reverse to replace the battery. So let's slide it back over to the middle and kind of feel it fall into place. Tighten this Velcro so that is held in place, and then insert our foam. So you have two L foams. The one that is thinner goes on the side. The one that is thicker goes on the top, and they should just slide around the battery. And this last one just goes in this corner, slides right in place. And then you replace your Plantower and we're ready to start sampling again.